Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you on the second day of April 2020. It is springtime. Spring's in the air. It's time to plant in the ground. And I'm going to tell you what's the advantages of a small plot farm versus large farms in terms of food security and gardening, and why we make a difference for what happens with growing food. So the thing is this. I did a video about food shortages. You can grow your own food to combat food shortages. Best thing you can do. Some people mistook me. They thought I was whining about my operation. Oh, heck no. I grow stuff. I grow my own, and the weather does not stop me. I'll show you why. It's because you can get in and out of these beds. You don't need heavy equipment. You don't need big tractors that get stuck, the kind of things I was talking about. There's a lot of advantages to having a small plot, intensive agriculture grow system, what's called spin. One of them is, this is one of my main tillers. This is my favorite tool. This is what I call my hand tiller, because it's got these big, beefy, short tines. I can dig with this thing like crazy. I can just about compete with the rotary tiller with this. It requires no fuel, it's cheap, and it works great. It's very reliable, don't break down. And in a grid down situation, this thing will continue to perform flawlessly. It's all up to the operator. So, a lot of advantages to that. And I can tear these beds up, and you can manage that on a small plot farm. You don't need power tools. If you want to save money, you don't have to have them. Now you can save some time, but you can get rotary tillers in and out of these beds without any problem. And you can see here, we just dug up a bunch of turmeric that was in here. We're about to weed these. We're about to be out here planting. You can see I got garlic growing right here. That will be harvested later. I've got garlic in my beds down here. Of course, I got my greenhouse running. So there's a lot of advantages here to the kind of garden that we have, mainly for agricultural purposes. North America has 42 to 47 million acres of lawns. If you grow in the style of the Dervaes family in Pasadena, California, and I got 2 videos on that family where I went out and interviewed them in LA, they grow 6,000 to 7,000 pounds of food per year on 1/10 of an acre. They eat from it, they grow most of the food they eat, and they sell from it and making a living. It's presently supporting 3 adults. Was 4 when their father was still alive. So that underscores what can be done. What that translates to is feeding 2 billion people from North American lawns. So this idea that we have too many people or we can't feed our people is bogus. We just need to give up our silly lawns. You know, don't grow grass, grow food. We need to get away with these homeowner associations and spank them for the kind of policies they have, because lawns and gardens can be pretty and they're productive. Lawns are a waste. So if you want to be sustainable, grow food, not grass, at least not lawns. So with all that said, unless you're growing animals, if you're putting goats in your front yard, maybe, yeah, they won't go over too well. But in any event, the whole purpose of these small plots is that you can feed yourself. You can grow your own food. And this time that we're in right now, it's the excellent time to do that, because I'm talking about food shortages. You can see that in the previous video. That's how you combat it. And right now, when so many people are out of work, it's a perfect time to start your gardens right now. And what you need is heirloom seeds. To get heirloom seeds, go to True Leaf Market. I've got links below to True Leaf Market. True Leaf Market is a great source for heirloom seeds. It also is a great source for seeds for growing microgreens. If you're in a city and you live in an apartment and you can't grow like this, you can grow microgreens in your living room, just like I do. You can grow in potted, you can grow in containers. You can grow on your windowsill. You can grow many ways in an apartment, in a city, in a high-rise. You can grow food, and quite a bit of good, healthy, nutritious food. I've heard it say, well, Greg, it's not sustainable because somebody's got to grow the seed. Well, that's what a pot's for. You can put your seed plants in a big pot and produce seeds. So there's a lot of advantages here. There's things you can do if you grow your own food. And if also another source for some heirloom seeds is prepwithgreg.com, my Patriot Supply, which I'm linked to with prepwithgreg.com, also has some heirloom seeds, and of course long-term food storage, which you might want to get while you can. This is the way to grow your own food. I'm about to get started here, and we're going to prep these beds. I'm going to plant a few winter type things first, some onions. I know it's a little bit late for that. 15 April is when we typically plant our summer crops. I really should have been planting winter crops early, but we did have a lot of rain. And it was pretty muddy, and mostly I'm just busy. The biggest thing that slowed me down is I sell a lot of worms. I sell a lot of worms. Now, you need those for your gardening purposes too. greengregs.com, www.greengregs.com. All the links will be below so that you can know and you can grow your own. So, again, the primary advantage of a small garden is that you can work it. You can work it in a wider range of weather than can the big farms. The big farms or the big agriculture growing hybrid seeds are not sustainable, especially when things get tough. When the grid goes down, don't count them. They're not going to be there. They're going to be growing your food. If you are a farmer that grows that way, I would encourage you to branch out some and start growing more garden space for yourself and market garden. That is really what you need to look at. Grow maybe a section of your fill. You might want to have an area where you can plant seeds that you can replant in case everything else goes down. So I would diversify if I were, the large monolithic farmer. I would look at other ways to create more sustainability. What are you going to do when you can't buy your hybrid seeds? What are you going to do when you can't get the fuel and spare parts to run those big expensive tractors that you run? You need some other way to do it. And like I said, this hand tiller right here is my favorite tool. This thing is very versatile. It can dig. Well, let me show you. I'll give you an example. Now this is a no-till garden bed. Actually, that's another advantage of raised beds, but I'll show you real quick. Look at all the wild edibles growing in here right now. Purple dead nettle, for example. That's edible. I got my left hand here. I'm not a left-handed person, but just to give you an idea, it's really easy to pull stuff out and dig anywhere. Now I can use this to aerate also, just plunking along. So there's many ways you can do this. That's what this is. You're going to see stuff growing here real soon. I'm going to be planting a lot of summer, wintertime stuff and then summer stuff. And the very best thing about this hand tiller is that, unlike my tractor here, which is a light tractor and don't have as many problems with this as the big expensive farm tractors, the hand tiller never gets stuck. No, I never got the hand tiller stuck. It'll never get stuck. And you know what? I can farm even with this one stuck. I can still do what I do with or without it. It does make my life easier, especially for pulling sled bed worm beds. Oh yeah, here's my inventory. Hope you've seen my video on sled bed worm beds. But this is the next sled about to be put into operation. And there are some. Of course, you can see some back down there. Yes, I'm in the production of sled bed worm beds. And there's future sleds. And I've got quite a video on making sled bed worm beds. I'm really getting into these big. And again, hand tiller. It's great because it never gets stuck. And that's the advantage of small plot intensive agriculture, is that you don't need heavy equipment. And this is mainly, I got it for pulling logs. That's how I built my log barn. That's how I cleared this area out. It's how we processed lumber, pulling logs, and built my raised beds. I moved all those logs around with my little old geisha mule, like a Kubota tractor. It don't get stuck too much, not like the bigger equipment, but yeah, it can get stuck. But it's not a in-a-life situation here. I just got this tire reinflated. We pulled the valve stem out of the inner tube with it. But we got her ready to run and pull sled beds again. So stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel to get updates to my other videos. Bang the bell and click all to make sure you get all the notifications that are available. So thank you for watching.